Hi, my name is Tatiana Lee. I am a senior, a criminal justice major, and a youth empowerment and urban studies minor at Westchester University. This is going to be my capstone multimedia project, linking my experience at Yes Philly to theory that I've learned throughout the Yes program. Once again, Yes Philly is an alternative high school for students aged 15 to 21 that have either dropped out or been kicked out of Philadelphia. Go.
All right, I'm David Cooper Moore. I'm the media instructor at Yes Philly Accelerated High School. We're a alternative high school for
No, my phone just
no
doesn't
store.
work.
We're an alternative high school for students who have left the public school system.
So we would just like for you to define youth-led media as a method of inquiry, critical thinking, and critical literacy.
Right, inquiry, critical thinking, and critical literacy.
Yes.
So I like your phrase youth-led media, which is a little different from the phrase youth media, which is both a practice and kind of a genre of work that young people tend to do, usually documentary-based work. And youth-led media, I like to think is really more of a way of integrating media practices, media analysis, and media production into the learning that students are doing in and out of school. And so the reason this relates to all of the topics that you're talking about is that media can be used as a tool to strengthen other forms of learning and not just be a source of learning in and of itself. So I can give you an example from Yes Philly, right? We have a lot of students who struggle with print literacy. They've gotten through elementary, middle, and high school, and they are, most of our students are functionally literate, but often not much beyond that. But they have a lot of experiences and opinions that can be difficult for them to convey in traditional forms of writing, and media can be a way for them to preserve those stories and explore ideas and opinions in ways that not only create media but also strengthen the reading skills. They're using media engagement to practice writing, right? I have students that will write more for me writing a script than they would in English class writing a story. And so that relates a little bit to maybe not critical literacy. The next step would be then to think about not just are you using media forms of writing, but are you actually engaging with social justice? Are you actually engaging with issues that are relevant to students to get them thinking critically? And so again, media becomes this catalyst for all these other skills that students need. I always incorporate data analysis and writing and all kinds of stuff that connect with their other subjects to create media. And the reason that it's youth-led is because a lot of students that need a lot of support have a lot of knowledge and experiences that you can tap into that get them engaged in reading and writing, in math, in these kinds of core competencies that they may struggle in, but will work on a little bit harder if they have that media component and the social justice component on top. And so that's how I view youth-led media and what we try to do here.
I'm Roy Rogers. I'm the social studies teacher here at Yes Philly, and I believe that the role of educators in developing the power of youth media is that primarily what educators need to do is give students the tools to develop their own voice. Because a lot of particularly young people from a difficult or troubled background, they have these experiences, they have these thoughts, but they don't necessarily know how to articulate them. So the best thing educators can do is put them through classes, put them through, cause them to think in different ways than their experiences gave them that will eventually allow them to develop a voice, that they can articulate their experiences in a way that will allow them to understand the processes that they've undergone, but also be able to articulate them in a way that can be made sense of by their peers, and by adults. And that hopefully by the time that process has happened, they'll have the skills to succeed in the workforce, to succeed in college, and be able to process the difficulties and the successes that they're going to have as adults.
The excerpt that you just saw on the previous screen comes from Howard Rheingold in a piece entitled Using Participatory Media and Public Voice to Encourage Civic Engagement. So I really like that excerpt a lot because to me what it means is that students have the tools to civic engagement right at their fingertips, whether it's starting a social media campaign or simply recording a video of some injustice and posting on the web. I go back and I think about all the recent police brutality killings and how a simple recording of a video brought light to an issue that's been happening for years. The excerpt that you just read on the previous screen is from a book written by Dave Beck and Rod Purcell called Popular Education Practice for Youth and Community Development Work. I chose that excerpt to begin to explain how youth-led media concepts are in action at my community site. I feel like this is precisely what Yes Philly is doing well. They have deconstructed the power dynamics that is usually in a teacher-to-student relationship, right, where the teacher is there to teach and the student is there to learn. I feel like Yes Philly has given some of the power back to the students by allowing them to construct projects based on their passions and what they are concerned about within their communities. Not only is Yes Philly valuing student opinions and their voices and the things that they're concerned about, they are also giving them a chance to create a brighter future for themselves. Like I mentioned before, Yes Philly is an alternative high school for kids that have either dropped out or been kicked out of Philadelphia public schools. So when the Philadelphia public schools have told these children constantly that they are not enough, they're not good enough, Yes Philly is kind of like a safe haven, a place where they can come and they can finish their high school diploma and have a chance for a better future. I know personally in my group we had a success story. Rakim Mobley graduated last Friday, and he's going to be going to Cheney in the fall on a full scholarship to play basketball. So Yes Philly is just really giving these kids a better opportunity. Without Yes Philly, I don't know where a lot of these kids would be. And I'm just very grateful for the experience at Yes Philly. So in general, I am just very thankful for the experiences that I've had at Yes Philly. From the success stories to even the things that weren't success stories, right? Like the simple fact that we didn't start producing our videos until week 5. But just sometimes you have to go with the flow and working with youth. So I think I've definitely learned a lot. That sometimes youth work isn't perfect. It takes time and patience. So I really enjoyed my experience at Yes Philly. I really commend Yes Philly for the work that they're doing, saving these urban youth and giving them a better chance to have a brighter future.